How do you
Go in
know
real life.
now?
Like, but there are like I in a weird way, like obviously I've Says and T and gotten to know Nick and Sabrina and you, it's us, but there are real relationships that you can't find. I do think the relationships that people make are real. I do. It's just this space has been really toxic that my guard is up. There's a lot of people here that we've joked in the chat and whatnot. I haven't been reaching out in DMs and whatnot because I'm feeling some type of way. But it's not to say there aren't good people here and that no one can be trusted. I'm sure there are. I'm just in a weird headspace right now. And I think the communities, I think it is healthy to seek out communities. I think the problem is when the community gets unhealthy and you're so deep into it, you can't recognize that.
I don't have mine went missing.
Okay, that makes sense.
And my lawyer,
Okay.
sorry, I meant to shout you out as well.
Thank you. That makes sense. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that I just heard. I mean, she was in there last night, and that was okay.
Liking the live. Totally nothing was. It was a perfect thing that was going on in her mind apparently, and nothing was wrong. Yeah, she was fine with every bit of it. It was.
That's
really disappointing.
Wow. I know I'm not dumb. I am not dumb. I just am not around a lot. And so when I catch up, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and I don't think 16 years, right? It's not like, and when I say that, I try to be really careful with how I word it because, again, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with seeking out community wherever you can find it, right? It's good to have people to talk to and whatnot and not isolate. So if that's finding someone online, if that's finding someone in real life, if that's joining a chat group, there's nothing wrong with that. It's human nature to want a community. I think the question is, though, is that you have to ask yourself, is it still healthy still for you specifically? So you have to look at your own life and look at your own circumstances. And that's why I say I can only speak for myself as I realize the amount of time I was spending online was becoming unhealthy. I was neglecting like my friends in real life. I was, and fucked a lot of relationships because I was just in a bad, not a great place when this all started. And so that's where I had to find that kind of balance. So that was looking at Bumble BFF, that was looking at meetups, that was joining different sports leagues. And I've met some great people offline, and I have met some great people online as well. I'm never going to take that away. I'm in a mistrustful place right now, and I need to reset my gut instinct and my intuition. It just feels out of sort, and I'm not trusting myself, I guess, is the best bet to say.
No, and I didn't know that happened with you had only trusted so many people with what you told about your personal relationship.
But Brit's not like, and what you have to understand is Brit is not like that. Brit is not going to be one that talks about whatever goes on in her life or anything with anybody, like with anybody at all. And we've all become that way. Besides, like me, Brit, and Says have gotten that close. And now it's like, you know, Nick and Sabrina too, and we have our little group of who we would trust fucking 100% to not ever do anything. But we let Minty into that circle, and thinking that she was okay, that she seemed like she was smart and she had a good head on her shoulders and she had been through some shit. There was nothing that was really like, wow, we shouldn't trust this person. Oh, Dad,
It was a
we have
really vulnerable moment. I had only told Says and them, and then, like I said, I joined a group call. I saw something, and I lost it. I was fucking sobbing. Fucking sobbing, and to hear that get used against you by another woman, that, like, to demean was just fucked. I didn't even care that AZ what he said. To me, whatever, the relationship ended. I don't give a fuck about that right now. We're beyond that. Like, the homeboy apologized at this point, and it still felt moved on from it. You know what I mean? But to find out that something that was said in confidence, a really fucking vulnerable moment where I don't open up about a lot. On lockdown most of the time. I don't say even much here about myself. I share things when I feel like sharing them, but to be so vulnerable and have that thrown in your face, that fucking sucked.
I mean, even if it wasn't, even if like you weren't, it was like your enemy that found out. It's my enemy that I found out something like that, happened with, why do you feel the need to go out of your way to go tell someone something like that, so you know he's going to use it as ammunition?
That exact reason.
I mean, but like, what is wrong with you? Like, hypothetically asking, what is wrong with you that you think that it's okay to do that? Like, are you that terrible of a person? I guess I'm not understanding.
The difference is there's nothing personal that she's shared with us beyond the summer stuff that we've ever shared out. And I have no plans to repeat anything that she's shared personally in that regard. I'm going to talk about the Matthew stuff because the lies that were told online. And I will talk about the summer stuff because, again, the lies that were told online. But personal stuff, that's it's fucking low.
Yeah, that's, we would never.
And I thought that the way I understood it, she had been with you guys for quite some time before
yes, and
you guys all broke away, right?
Been in the chat, she's been here since the beginning, right, on different accounts.
Okay. That's what I thought.
And she's been in the chat and whatnot, but it wasn't until the last few weeks that, or at least from my side, I don't know, I can't speak for anyone else, that it was opened up and added. So
No, and I will go out and say this. I'm sorry, I'm going to do it, but I feel like, and the girls know this, I feel like she saw some sort of like opening to get close with T, and I feel like she kind of thought it was going to be her and T up in these lives because
I don't know if we need to get into that.
No, I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't think you're wrong, but
weird.
I don't know if that's going to be helpful right now.
No, I see what you're saying. I mean,
That's just your personal thought. That was your personal thought on it.
yes.
I thought
that's my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I thought she had been around for a really long time, and then I thought that when the summer thing happened, and I'll just say this really quickly, and stop me if you need to, you guys. I thought when the summer thing happened, I thought she was offended because she was backing you guys. That's how I understood it, and I guess I'm 100%.
Do you mean the white flag thing, or are you talking?
Yeah. When Summer did the.
That's exactly 100. There's no ands, if, or buts about this. This isn't just making up shit. The exact what happened, in 100% is the day that we went over. The day that we had went over to Summer and said, "Here's a white flag," which obviously meant nothing, but here's a white flag. We're no longer going to be speaking about each other. We're not friends, but let's stop the drama. Minty stopped responding. And I was like, fuck. And I thought during that live, fuck, Minty's going to be upset because they had just been streaming Dizzy and Summer. And Hurley and Minty were going at Dizzy and Summer while streaming them. So I knew they were obviously watching us over there. And I thought, fuck, this is not going to go good. And I don't want to hurt Minty because it was a last minute decision that I hopped up there and just said, fuck it, no more drama. I'm sick of it.
So you didn't tell her ahead of time?
I didn't. Nobody knew.
She didn't tell anyone. I was at a rehearsal dinner for the wedding, and I happened to come home to the hotel and start scrolling through and saw that those two were in the box. I was like, well, what the fuck? Let me hop in there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
that's what I was wondering.
And so then what had happened was I went over in Summers, then the Summer live happened where we were over there. And by the time I got off, Minty was off. So then I start messaging her and I'm like, hey, are you okay? Like, you're probably really upset right now, and I fucking get it, but here's why. And I write out this big thing, and I explain it to her. And I said, we had to do this, like, with all the hate going on right now, I just can't do the Summer shit back and forth right now, and it doesn't mean I'm her friend. I'm not going to be up there, blah, blah, blah. She didn't reply. The next morning, she replies, and we have a conversation back and forth, and then we get on a call, and I can tell she's pissed off on the call.
Her feelings were probably hurt initially.
100%. And I told her, I fucking get it. I'm a petty bitch. I'd be mad too. I'd be like, fuck these bitches, right? Like, leave me hanging to hate Summer by myself now. Fuck you guys.
Right.
So I get it. So I had the call and I explained to her what was going on. It was a 28-minute phone call. And she was at the end of it, she was like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I'm like, you're probably going to need some time, but just know I still respect you. Like, fucking, please know that you're still a part of us. That's the thing here. I didn't do this to hurt you or anything like that. So fair enough. The call ends. And then after that, she was silent for like a few hours. And then all of a sudden Nick is in the Discord and Nick said, Minty, what do you mean you're going live? But I don't see the comment. And I'm like, Nick, what did Minty just comment? And she's like, oh, she deleted it. And Minty's reading this because she's seeing me and Nick talk back and forth. And I'm like, what was it? And Nick said, she tagged you and she said, I'm going live. I've unblocked everyone. Let all them haters come in. And I'm like, Minty. So I tagged Minty. I'm like, are you okay? Do you want to talk to me first? Do you want me to come in? Do you need support? Like, Minty, are you okay? She doesn't respond, goes live. So then after that, I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I messaged her again and I'm like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah.
Oh my God.
No way.
And her response to me was, and all this is here in our chat. And her last response to me after that, the only thing she said was, whatever, if you guys want to go, if you want to continue to lick Summer and Dizzy's fucking ass, you fucking can. And I said, Minty, I'm not arguing with you. I've been through enough this week. I'm not going to argue with you. And she said something like, it's not an argument. I'm just saying how it is. And that was the last time I've talked to her. And that was the whole reason she got fucking mad.
And you had already been, and just to put this in perspective, you had already been going through all of the heat of everything else. And if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but okay, so just from my perspective, I thought that she was offended because she was backing you guys with the Summer thing. And then she felt offended because she's like, wait, I saw this go down and I'm backing you. And now you're turning, I don't know. She may have felt
that might have been her train thought, right? That but she had her own issues with Dizzy and shit. So she had started, but what I tried to explain to Minty was, this has just started for you, the back and forth with Summer and Dizzy. We've been doing it for 6 months, this back and forth. So we're wore out. There's nothing else that we can fucking go back and forth with. So I get why, and I told her, you can still do lives. Like, if you want to do lives and you want to talk about Summer, go ahead. I just won't be up in the box. I'm just not touching it anymore. But I'm still there to support you, whatever else. I'm just not doing the back and forth with Summer. And that's the honest to God truth about the situation with Minty. And then from there, she went the fucking opposite way and then spun this narrative, turned it all around that it was about her not supporting us with the whole mad situation and that she had felt bad that she let it happen in her boxes. And it was like, what are you talking about?
And we said the complete opposite, though.
I thought she was holding herself accountable for...
No, she verbatim, said, I told everyone all the girls how I felt. That was never said.
Okay,
it was, I'll be honest, I already said this publicly. Sez and I were saying a lot of things feelings-wise. I went off on everyone because I didn't like the way Minty was running the lives, I'll be honest. And her response privately is, no one's going to tell me how to run my lives. But it was just because you saw in some of those that I had been really frustrated with, even like the Summer stuff. I'd been asking for a while in other chats and in that group one, please, can we stop? Enough.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, but and I was in many of those lives.
Yes, but she was the opposite when it came to the mad situation. Was the thing she now is putting out a narrative that the reason why we're no longer friends and whatever is because she thought about the mad situation and that she reached out to us and told us how she felt and whatever. But she felt completely opposite about the mad situation. That's just being honest. She felt the opposite, as in going live, and didn't mind to go live, let the haters come in, ignore them. No one did anything wrong. Shit like that. That was her narrative. It was not the narrative that she's putting out there now, that's the reason, because that wasn't the reason at all. She said she's been through this, so it doesn't affect her. So it was
Wow.
a complete different narrative, but this is the one she's trying to spin so she can get in with all the haters now and start a new community. So then when I seen Summer up there last night,
I
the
saw
only
that.
thing I kept thinking was, you started all of this because we threw in a white flag, and now you're pretending like you're okay with Summer, and that's the whole reason you started this, and
Yeah.
it made no sense to me.
Thank you. That's what triggered me last night. That's why I was like, what? Okay, so I'm just catching up a lot. So thank you for clarifying all of that.
Yeah, she was.
That didn't make sense to me in multiple different ways. And you guys saw that I'm sure you guys were watching. I was in multiple lives. I didn't always go up, but I was in lives and I've always supported all of you guys.
I was going to be honest, I wasn't watching last night. The girls will tell you. I got frustrated and I said, you know what? I'm taking my mom to the movies.
Yeah, good for you.
And I left.
And after Britt left, we watched we didn't watch the full thing. We only watched for like a half of Summer talking to her, and then we stopped streaming. Britt had already left because Britt's like,
Oh no, not last night. Wait, I wasn't there last night. The night before, I mean.
Yeah, but last night we had stopped. Where I'm like, it was pissing me off because it was kind of like the feeling that I was just hearing things that were very false from both ends, and it was more like, let's buddy up. And I'm thinking, this is what we tried to do. We tried to throw in a white flag for no drama, and now you started all this, and you're sitting with the person that you hated the most, and just to hate on us more. And it's like, what am I even? So we stopped watching. I'm like, I'm not. It's just pissing me off, and I'm not gonna react. I'm gonna react if I keep watching. So I'm not gonna fucking do it because it was irritating.
My bad. I was not there last night. I was not aware of any of this, so I apologize. Let me retract that just to say that I meant it's been at least 2 days since I've been in one of her lives or even spoke to her, actually. And I was shocked when I saw I was going to pick my kids up from football and I saw that what I thought, I mean, it just scared the shit out of me. I was tagged by multiple people, just shared and tagged, and it scared the shit out of me. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
And the thing is, too, she stood for all the right things. Like, she was against people that were doing the wrong things and these trolls. And then I see her when AZ's doing this in AZ's chat and last night, and it's like, you're sitting there watching this happen towards two women that you were friends with,
and she's not a fan.
Not only saying nothing against it, but laughing in the comments, tagging back and forth with like Allison and Kaylee and just buddying up with these people and not saying a thing, all because of what? Like, it makes you cannot like people, and then today she's reposting all these hateful shit on everybody and putting up videos of Sabrina and shit, and it's like, we haven't done a fucking thing. Like, we haven't come on here, and then she's threatening with receipts and what. We all have the same receipts, all of us, for all of the conversations, and she does not look good in those conversations either. So if she puts up receipts about anything, she has to out how she felt about every situation as well. And so it made no sense, and to threaten friends with receipts and to threaten this and that and then buddy up with the people that you hate and talk the most about. It's like, what is going on right now? And you're watching a man threaten our lives,
right?
And you think it's funny because you don't like us? Like, I can't wrap my head around it, because it's like a major temper tantrum that they didn't get a toy in Walmart, and so they threw a temper tantrum in the middle of the store. And it was like, what is going on? I've lost all respect for her, honestly, and I hate to say that, because fuck did I like her. And
I know. I know
her.
you did. You
You really
definitely
pulled for
did.
her.
I mean, T does not chase after anyone.
No.
And when someone says they're done or T says she's done, that's telling us, like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, damn, would you fight this hard for me?
No, and T really did like her. That was obvious.
9 times in one day I messaged her, and like Britt said, I don't fucking care about anybody that usually leaves or that throws tantrums. I don't it's a downfall of mine. But when it comes to people I'm close with, yes.
You really did like her. Yeah.
I had a respect for Minty. I did have a respect for her. And I seen like that. I thought, well, in my head, I thought she's a good person, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings by, and maybe I was extra emotional because of everything that had happened that week, and I just didn't want anybody else's feelings to be hurt. But I didn't want to hurt her feelings by her thinking that it was pretty much a fuck you to her by throwing in a white flag. But I reached out to her 9 times in one day, had a private call with her, repeatedly tagged her in the Discord, like, are you okay? Minty, are you okay? Can you talk to one of us, please? And that was not because I was worried about anything. That was because I actually was upset that I hurt her feelings, and I didn't want her to feel that way. And so it really was a slap in the face to see her go live and do what she's done, and then let people with my picture in there, let people shit on us, let people blatantly say things.
Really quick. So before she did that live, you two had no conversation at all.
No, there was a conversation. Like, even I reached out to her that morning and said, hey, thinking of you. I know I've been offline.
No.
Hope everything's okay.
Uh-huh.
And she responded nicely. And the next thing you know, she's going live. And I know you're asking Teapot, but I know almost everyone had reached out, even says to check in.
And then she just did it. She just did her thing and wasn't like, what?
That's what we were like. We're like, what? Blue talked to her. And we had no idea. But that's what I
didn't know that.
Okay, hang on. I got to clear up one thing. Anna, before I block you. We don't have a Discord. We have a mod. When I say Discord, we had a mod chat in Discord because it's easier for all of us to be in one group. It was just
because you can't make groups. Canadians can't join a group on TikTok. It's not available in that region.
So just so we're clear, we've never had a Discord server ever. We had a mod group in the app of Discord, but we've never had a server for everybody.
Right.
And so that's what I mean. We were blindsided by what the fuck was going on. Because I was like, with everything going on this week, are you seriously going to focus and start a whole new drama? Like please, not right now. And I thought that since she truly knew what we were all going through with the situation this week, that she wouldn't even attempt to start a drama over this shit with how serious everything was. And all of us were fucking floored. Like, what?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that's the honest to God truth. I swear on fucking everything I know. That's the honest to God truth of what had happened. It had nothing to do with Mad. It had nothing to do with her feelings or her holding herself accountable. Nothing. It was the whole that we had thrown a white flag with Summer. That was it. That was the whole fucking conversation, and that's how it happened, and that's why it happened. But I think here's the thing too, from her point of view, if she admits that, right? If she says that's why I was pissed off, then everybody will be like, well, that's really childish. Like, are you serious? That's why you were pissed off and you've done all this? Like, that doesn't make sense. So it's easier to say, actually, it's because I rethought about things and I want to hold myself accountable. That sounds like the more mature thing to be saying to make this understandable. So that's why she went that way instead of just saying, okay, that is the truth. Fuck them bitches. They wanted to go with Summer and I'm petty and I'm not having it. I would have respected her for that. Like, but this, to flip it to be like, when Cez and Britt were the ones that were like the major ones that were like, we shouldn't go live. It's, it's not the time to do it. Then they were the main ones that were saying that. Minty was definitely on the opposite side of it when it came to, like, fuck it, we're going live. Like, no one's gonna stop us. Like, 100%, let's do it. We'll show. We're not hiding nowhere. We did nothing wrong.
Exactly that. Yeah, Britt and Cez, they were the ones who, if anything, were saying that they were the ones pulling back in that regard.
And majority of the time they were even in the chat saying, or on live saying, nope, let's stop. Or even in our, just group chat, hey, we don't need to do this. Let's stop.
Like holding some accountability.
Right.
Respect in that regard. Yeah.
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 Very true.
Not her.
But it was just really, and that's why that day, the last time I hopped up in her box, when there's a frustrating part to it and not, but when that day when she went live and she said, I'm on blocking everybody. Oh, be yourself. You got your account back. That's great. Sorry, it's been I don't know if you've caught on. It's just been an insane week. Sorry, I haven't messaged you back, but it's worst week of my life has happened. But I'll catch up later. But that the reason why I hopped up in that live that day when she had that live saying I've unblocked all the trolls, and I hopped up and I was upset and I said, like honestly, Minty, if I had any friend that even if I wasn't their friend anymore, I would still on my worst day, even when it comes to you, never let people in my chat to speak about me the way they are right now. And just to say that people deserve opinions when you're having people that are saying this kind of stuff in your chat and they're not being blocked or muted or anything and you're allowing that, that's disgusting behavior. Like I'm really floored right now that you're letting that happen because you're upset at me over something petty. And then I was like, I couldn't believe it. So I was out. And then people that are still with her messaged me after even saying, I can't believe Minty did that. These are people that are still with her. Messaged me after that live, during that live even, and said, I can't believe Minty is letting that happen. I can't believe she's doing that. It was crazy and I thought, okay, I'm not the only one that thinks this then. It's not just me saying, how dare you let them talk. It's other people as well. And those people are still being her friend right now, but that's the messages I got. So I thought, I'm not insane then. This isn't right for anybody to do to anybody. And still right now, if I had a whole bunch of people come in here that had Minty's picture as their picture or said Minty did this and they were saying unbelievable, horrible things, they'd be blocked immediately. I would never let that happen. Thank you, just be yourself. And so I was hurt. I was shocked. I was like, what the hell, man? Like, this is what you're letting this shit happen because you're upset over nothing right now? Like, and then to flip the narrative to be like, you were the one that was the right one that wanted to hold accountability and whatever, just so the trolls believe that you gave a shit? Like, are you serious?
Yeah, and I didn't think it was for the trolls, and I was not there for that live, but as you guys know, that I have been in her lives or supporting her and talking to her and, been her friend, because I didn't know, and I didn't know this stuff. I thought that, like I said, I thought that she was pissed because she was supporting you guys for something that had happened to you guys with the summer stuff and was supporting you, T. And she was like appalled that how are you going to throw the white flag when I'm backing you? I was confused.
Mm-hmm.
So
she had her own stuff with Summer and Dizzy going on. I don't know so much Summer, not really Summer, right? More, thank you, just be yourself. I hope you are too, and not more Summer. It was Dizzy, right? They had that big back and forth thing, whatever had happened that day.
Oh yeah,
and all that stuff, right? So I got that, but my explanation was, you haven't done 6 months, like. Talk to me in 6 months and tell me how you're feeling with a back and forth for 6 months and see how it goes. Like, it's
right.
But you can keep doing it, and I'm still going to be your friend. I just won't be up in the box when you're doing the summer streaming and shit like that. I can't fucking do it. And I was solid when I said that to Summer that we were no longer going to bring her up. I kept my end of that bargain, right? We were going to, that's it. And I'm still, that's it. But I just didn't want to be involved in that shit anymore. But she hasn't been through the 6 months that we've had to go through. So she's new to it, and she's just getting started on the internet thing. But the other thing too, when you build these relationships on TikTok with trolls and hate, when friendships are built off of the foundation of hate, they don't last long. So these friendships that she is, making, or that she thinks that these people like her now with the trolls and with Summer and all that, this will all flip. These relationships can't last because they're not built off of any authenticity whatsoever. They are built off of the hatred of one person as a group. And those types of relationships will backfire.
Very true. Very true. Oh, this breaks my fucking heart. All around. Because it's mind-blowing. It's heartbreaking. Oh my God.
It's very disappointing. And I wish it
is.
And we even thought maybe she just needs a few days, right? Like, people need space. Maybe, and I even realized at the beginning when she wasn't responding, when I was like, are you okay? Blah, blah, blah. And I thought, maybe she just needs a few days. And like, she's in her feels about it. She feels betrayed that we threw in a white flag and all this stuff. And she's probably just in her feels. But I didn't realize that it was going to take the turn that it took without even, because she's had the ability, and still she's had the ability this whole time to reach out to me on Discord, right? Even when I left, all this, she still has an open ability to message me at any time during that on Discord. But never did. Hear that. Yeah, but she never did, right? She never messaged any of us on Discord to say, hey, can we, like, before she went live or before she started doing all this, to say, hey, what's up? Like, I just want to tell you, like, friendship's over. I'm not, to me, it was, a distrust and whatever. And to say anything at all, she could have, but she never did. And that's usually how adults do things, right? Is if you're a regular adult, you wouldn't be going live and starting more hate, and you'd understand what your friends are going through, and you would just do something else with your life. But what brings in views is drama. We all know that. Right? Like, if Summer hopped up in a box right now, me and her started yelling at each other, the fucking views would pop right off. It would be crazy, right? That's what people want to see, and that's what they love. So when you have drama, when you start feuds and it's panel to panel and you go back and forth, there's where you're going to get your views. There's people are dying to see it or dying to stream it, and that's, anyone knows that when it's mundane conversation about what'd you do today? What'd you eat? Would you, right? Nobody wants to hear that shit. They can hear that shit with their own family members. They're on here like it's a show, right? And when you scroll and you see people yelling, your views start going up. Like, before we started talking about all this, we were at like 160, right? And then we start talking about the Minty situation and all that. It'll spike up. People are like, wait a minute, they're talking about that. And that's just how social media works. But you won't have a lot of views if you're just sitting there talking about mundane shit. You'll have your regulars that'll stay in and be like, missed you guys, what's going on, let's have a laugh. But the more of it comes from the drama side of social media. But that's not what we wanted with Minty.